Hi, welcome back to the allotment, and today we're sort of really finalising our plans, how we're going to maximise the use of the space we've got. As you can see already, we've got some fruit trees a couple of feet apart from the fence, 12 foot apart from each other. We've got 4 of them: cherry, pear, plum, an apple. That's not apple, it's a pear. We're going to pop the shed down there. It's going to be a 6x4 shed. The reason it's a 6x4 shed in allotment agreement, that's the maximum size you can have. Apparently it's a standard thing with allotment agreements that it's up to the local parish council or town council what you have on your allotment basically, but where we are they're very amenable and very amenable and helpful, so it helps us a lot. But the thing we're going to do here, we're going to put a fruit cage up, and we're going to pop a greenhouse there, and shed there. We're going to have water butts somewhere here. Things might change a bit, but you can see where we're going. The other thing that I found quite interesting, you can get these wormeries, and you can even process dog poo in them. It's incredible. And that turns into a fertiliser, but that you can't use that on a vegetable patch, but you can use it on flower beds and everything. There's no smell. They provide you with this wormery, and then when you've got your wormery set up with all the components, you then send a voucher in. They send this army of worms to you to basically eat the dog poo and turn it into waste. And I've seen the videos and look fantastic. The other thing we're going to do is obviously composting.
But you can't. The only thing with that is you can't use it on vegetables or fruit. So
flowers and things.
Flowers and things are fine, but not.
I've looked at composting, and that's why we're making this video. We'd appreciate if you're allotmenteers out there and you've got some views on it. Hot composting seems to be the way to go. Seems to be the thing to do. We're going to look at buying one of those, and we'll show you how we get on with it, and perhaps insulating a little bit more so it works a bit better. So we've got quite a few bits going on, but our main purpose today, we're looking at a fruit cage. Now, we're not just looking at a fruit cage for fruit, which seems a bit odd. We want to really protect our vegetables and other bits and bobs, because take it from me, there's a damn sight a lot of wildlife around here, and I mean our furry friends. So a little bit of protection.
And all sorts of birds.
They're about. Apparently they've had squirrels, they've had chickens, they've had all sorts. So if we can do anything to protect our what we're growing, we can have a maximum 12 metres by 8 metres by 2.4 high.
Which is quite high, isn't it?
That's high, and that's a big cage. We're not going to do that. We're going to go for something at 8 metres by 4 metres, which will give us a bit of space, and we're going to really sort of try and grow everything in there. And the other thing is, which amazed me, and I didn't even know existed, we want to grow some carrots. Now, I'll make no shame about it. We are total allotmenteer novices, don't know anything about it at all, done a bit of gardening, so any help and advice would be appreciated. But did you know there's a carrot fly? Now people are probably looking at this video going, yeah, didn't you know that? No, I didn't know that. But apparently you need to have netting a metre high, because they can't get above that, and it's the carrot leaves and foliage that attract them to smell. So if you want decent carrots, you don't want it all eaten, you need to put this special netting on. That's something that just we've learned, but we guess that if we've got this cage, we can protect our fruit, our vegetables with various nets and coverings, and it not blow away, because you can see you've only got to look over there, and we are in the countryside, so it seemed a more sensible option to do that, plus with the protection. So we've measured up. We'll order it. We've gone for something a little bit heavier duty, stop it blowing away. There's a lot of lightweight ones out there. I've spent quite a bit of time researching, and I think I know what the right one is. I'm going to phone the supplier up and just get some advice on netting, because there's butterfly netting, soft netting, bird netting. So again, we're novices, and we're going to ask the question, what's the difference and what the benefits are, and we'll pass that information back to anybody who's watching this video. Anyway, this may be of interest to you, this video, but just lets you know how we're progressing with the allotment. And
so we measured up for the fruit cage today. What size do we think to go for?
We think 8 metres by 4 metres.
Okay.
Which will run from about here to just before the fruit tree.
So it's a fair old.
But it'll get a lot in there, so you just don't want things blowing
down
around.
Where the fruit tree is. This is the cherry tree.
It'll come from about here to about there
to about there.
Now we've got space here, and the soil up the top there used to be sheds on here, lots of sheds. The soil up the top there, this is why we've put the weed barrier down, and we've said that in the previous video, is there's so much rubble, glass and everything in the soil. It goes down 1.5 foot. From experience, just having a garden, I know we'd be here forever. But when you get to around about here, this soil is really good. It's really good, look. It's really good soil. So,
it's sandy, isn't it?
Sandy. What I'm proposing is we take the weed barrier off here, we put some gravel board round, and we have this as a bed for whether it's just growing some flowers or something in this area here, and we learn a little bit more about growing in soil and what works and what doesn't work.
Because the areas that we aren't going to plant anything in, we will put like a nice bark on to tidy it all up. This is very early stages yet.
But people who watch the other video, you can see how we've basically the ground was a bit like that outside the fence.
Yeah.
So we are getting there with it. There's not a lot else I can say at the moment.
But we're mainly going to use raised borders in this, aren't we? We'll dig this area in, but
we will,
especially for the fruit and the veg side of things.
It is like any garden allotment. It will evolve over time, and we will move things around. And that's why we've gone for these pallet collars initially to start off with. So if we make our mistakes, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of them, we can put them right fairly quick. Fortunately for us, there are lots of helpful people out there on this allotment, really friendly, and online. And anybody who wants to comment on what we're doing, rightly or wrongly, we think we've got the trees in the right place. I think we've left enough space for the research I did, but if you think we haven't, let us know. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. And just to say, unbelievably, this is the 30th of October 2022, and the sun is shining.
It's nice weather, isn't it?
And it's warm. I was going to say the birds are singing, but I think that was just a crow. Anyway, thanks for watching, and a few more videos as we progress along. Shed should be here hopefully next week on there. So we'll get that up, and we'll tell you where we bought that from and the quality of it, and might be of interest.
Once we get the shed up, we'll be connecting all the guttering into the water butts, which we've got already, haven't we? Got
the water butts. Just in case anybody's wondering why there's gravel there and there's shed going on it. If you watch it, it's just to stop the weeds coming through underneath the shed, basically. Because I've had it in the past where you've got a shed and you've got this bramble coming through the floor. Well, it's easier to stop it now than...
It should help stop it. Yeah. At least go some distances to help.
Yeah, and anything else trying to come up through the little furry friends or anything, it might help. So we're not against furry friends. We just don't want
them ruining our stuff.
We just don't want furry friends on my allotment. That's all. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you soon.